any signs of Pakistan and India reviving their ties, or will the relationship continue to remain strained?
If you look at what happened last year with the conflict, I mean, the history of India-Pakistan relations shows that when there have been wars and when there have been serious crises, there actually has been typically a period of easing tensions, which is very interesting, but that's not going to be the case here because A, this is the most serious conflict since the 71 war in terms of the intensity of hostilities. And also, there were so many other things that happened, right? I mean, India undertook a series of non-military punitive steps, closing all the borders, closing down trade, suspending the Indus Waters Treaty, which has never happened before. And I think that's just too much, quite frankly, to get around. There's very little dialogue anywhere. I mean, the military hotline is still open. It's never shut down, thankfully. But I just think that each side has concluded that it's not going to work out. Now, the Pakistan side, occasionally you'll hear talked about wanting to engage with India, or not engage with India, have a dialogue with India, but there's a disconnect. Pakistan wants to talk to India about India-administered Kashmir, which India says is nothing to be discussed. India has said, okay, we'd be willing to talk to Pakistan about Pakistan-administered Kashmir. That's not on the table for Pakistan. So I think that it's very unlikely we're going to see anything change. Maybe we have to look to the post-Modi era when things could change.
And what do you think? Could a country like the US bring Pakistan and India to the negotiating table even for its own interests? The US is seen extending its relations with Pakistan, and the reality is, despite the tariff tensions, India remains a very important country for the US.
For many years, out of deference to India, the U.S. had declined to try to position itself as a mediator because it knew that India doesn't want any third party mediation in its bilateral disputes. Yes, India does agree to mediation during actual crises and conflicts, even though it doesn't like that mediation to be broadcast publicly, which is why India is so upset with Trump for his bragging about his role in the ceasefire. But when it comes to, preemptive mediation, India rejects that, and so the U.S. never did that. Now, of course, we know President Trump has essentially said he'd be happy to mediate on the Kashmir issue, but and I would say that Sergio Gore, the new U.S. ambassador to India, who arrives in the region next week, I think he's also the special envoy for South Asia. I do think that Trump might view Gore, and of course these two are very close, as a travel balloon of sorts. I think that he might view Gore as someone who could try to explore the possibility of some type of U.S. brokered India-Pakistan mediation. But India would reject it, and especially given the tensions in the India-Pakistan relationship now. I can't imagine New Delhi would ever agree to any type of preemptive mediation effort spearheaded by the US.